Well, this is a bit of an impromptu video. I first off want to apologize to everybody for not doing the Thursday video. Thursday was my birthday, and so I and on top of that, I actually had forgot that I had scheduled cybersecurity training, and literally spent all day on that. So I do apologize. A little bit of a mix-up in my schedule, so I didn't want to leave you guys without. And this is what I had originally planned for Thursday, and it's on the increase in recent trucking rates, right? So a little bit of good news, and we'll jump into it right after this. Okay, so we are back, and this is from a recent article from Freight Caviar. Again, they're not a sponsored anything, but I really do like their market updates and information on what's going on in the industry versus some of the other industry publications, which it seems like sometimes their data isn't released until, much later than, than what it should be. I understand it's a lot of data to kind of go through oftentimes, but market updates, industry news, things like this, sometimes they're on it, sometimes they're not. Right now, I'm checking out Freight Caviar. I suggest you doing the same. I should have left a link for you guys down below, and I may go back and edit the description on this so that you guys can actually go through it yourselves if you so wish. But absolutely, all this credit goes to them. And without any further ado, I guess let's get into it. So after 19 months of waiting, transportation prices are growing, right? So trucking rate, spot market, furthering speculations of a closer end to our current freight recession. The increase comes as we're seeing retailers filling up their inventories again, showing that they're feeling a bit more optimistic about customer demand, right? Now, all of these numbers that we're going to kind of go through are from the January 2024 Logistic Managers Index report. Okay, and it's compiled from numerous logistics professionals. Okay, so the LMI uses a methodology similar to a diffusion index, where a score above 50 indicates expansion in the logistics industry. I can't talk today, people, so bear with me. We're going to get through this. Expansion in the logistics industry, and a score below 50 means contraction. Okay, the numerical points reflect the overall sentiment and activity levels within the market, with the January report increases indicating growth and potential recovery in the sector. Okay, so transportation prices jumped 12.7 points to 55.8. Transportation capacity posted at 54.5, growing but decelerating from previous months, right? Transportation utilization increased slightly to 55. Some details on the jump are many retailers have made the switch to just-in-time merchandise strategy as the pandemic demand highs waned and inventories piled up, right? However, now we're seeing some increase in their restocking pace in the month of January, right? Transportation prices rising more rapidly alongside inventory costs, hence at a return to growth for the logistics sector. Another positive sign comes from warehouse capacity, which sees its first expansion in 17 months. Combined, we're seeing robust demand and an optimistic outlook for transportation as we begin to navigate out of the freight recession, right? So just as a quick pause, little sidebar here, for those of you who have been watching the channel, or, maybe some of the other ones, we kind of, looking at the data throughout the year and things, we were kind of looking at, the market sort of starting to correct itself, sometime in the second quarter. This is obviously a very positive outlook, as it kind of indicates that we are indeed kind of coming out of that dip with the freight recession, right? So that's kind of some good news. Survey respondents were asked to predict movement in the overall LMI and individual metrics 12 months from now. Okay, overall growth. The overall LMI is expected to reach 62.8, suggesting a healthy expansion. Inventory dynamics, inventory levels and costs are forecasted to be big drivers of expansion, with inventory costs even passing the 70-point threshold. All right. Warehousing and transportation. While warehousing and transportation capacity are predicted to grow, the pace is likely to be slower, which may contribute to higher prices in these areas. Okay. So I think that this is sort of like the initial indicator to the freight recession coming to an end, right? As again, as I aforementioned, that we were kind of predicting sometime around the second quarter there, us kind of starting to dig ourselves out of this hole. And so this is really sort of a positive thing for everybody to see, right? And I would suggest that everybody use this information, keep up on market updates, industry news, and things like this, and educate your customers, right? Oftentimes, for many of you, your shippers may not have like a huge transportation department where they are keeping track of a lot of this, right? Or maybe even being surveyed, what they're seeing, what's being handed down to them from throughout their company, their operations and things. So educating your customers can go a long way, right, in helping you to further and build your relationships with them. Okay. Another thing that I want to point out to everybody is, and this is something that I've kind of pointed out from time to time throughout these videos over the years, is that if you're on with a customer, right, and you're moving freight, let's just say, for instance, you're noticing frequency, like say every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, right? All hypothetical, from Atlanta, Georgia to Chicago, for instance, right? And maybe they've got 3, 4, 5 other brokers that they work with, along with yourself. And they're like, hey, get back with me, with a truck in hand and a rate, right? And inevitably what they're doing is they're shopping around, trying to see who comes back with the lowest price, right? What the driver's ETA will be when, for pickup and delivery, things like this. It's not uncommon. However, what I would suggest would be to reach out to your customer, right? And just say, hey, look, you have this lane every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from Atlanta to Chicago, right? Let's just cut the BS. Tell me where you want to be rate-wise. And if it makes sense for you and your carriers, and you know what I mean, you make a margin, you get the carrier what they need. It has to make sense, right? And if it does, then just say, hey, stop shopping it around, give me all of it, right? And it might not just be one lane. It might be 3 or 4 lanes, right? Depending upon who your customer is, what kind of volume they're doing, all of these kinds of things. But these are things that you can use to also further your relationships with them, because you're coming in as a problem solver rather than them spending maybe an hour or half an hour, however long it takes them to receive all the bids back. You've just cut all of that out, freed up their part of their day, right? And you're getting it done for a rate that they want. Again, it has to make sense. Don't just agree to it because they're willing to hand it to you, right? If they're handing you those 3 loads a week and you can't get them covered because the rate's too low, right? And you're just going to more or less shop that out on the load board every single time, I wouldn't suggest doing it. But if you have carriers that are interested in that lane, you guys have been running it, maybe you're picking up one or two of those loads a week. Just I would go for it, right? They'll appreciate that 9 times out of 10, and probably be more likely to just hand that off to you. That again becomes kind of a no-brainer for you, your carrier, and then you can start reaching out to shippers in Chicago who will also in turn maybe have a load back to Atlanta, and you can put those dumbbells together, right? And if you don't know about dumbbells and some of that, go back and watch some of our previous videos on freight sales. I do have those categorized for everybody. And this goes for you carriers too, right? Not just for you brokers and broker agents. If you're a carrier that is running customer direct freight, again, using the same example from Atlanta to Chicago, and you're picking up every Wednesday, but maybe you've got 5 trucks that are in the area, in your fleet or something, you're a small fleet, but rather than going, hey, or I missed that email, I didn't see it, or I didn't get that text message or whatever, or, if it makes sense, just say, hey, yeah, as a carrier, we'll take that every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for you, right? And then start soliciting or building relationships with brokers that have freight out of Chicago back to Atlanta, right? Put that dumbbell together and you've got your return freight. And it can be very advantageous for you as a carrier to do that, right? Not just as a broker, but as a carrier as well. So all kinds of things to think about. Again, this will be kind of a short video today. Again, I apologize. It's my birthday Thursday. I had all that cybersecurity training that I had to get through, and then more or less Friday, kind of trying to play catch up with a lot of things, and I just didn't get to it as much as I wanted to try to make up for it yesterday. I ran out of time, unless you guys wanted to watch me go through it at 11 o'clock at night or something. So like I said, I wanted to get this done today so you guys had something to look forward to for the first part of the week. To my knowledge, I've looked through my schedule. We will still be on for this upcoming Thursday, right? And for those of you that have answered the questions posts in the community chat on the channel, I appreciate you guys' feedback. Again, we offer these resources to you as parts of helping you grow and be successful, right? These are resources that I would suggest everybody have, regardless of whether you're a carrier or a broker. So if you're looking for shippers, you need a CRM, you want to do carrier vetting, customer vetting, all these things. We've got things like eCarrierCheck, right? We were just on with Jared and Nate last week, week before last, right? And Danny with Operfi. A lot of great resources over there at Operfi. They've got a huge partner network over there. Fuel card, a lot of the same thing. Like I said, they're not trying to reinvent factoring, but a lot of the resources and tools and knowledge, industry knowledge that they have is absolutely invaluable. So if you're shopping around for factoring, get a hold of me directly. I can actually put you in touch with them. I'll give everybody my email again here real quick. Where to go? There we go. freightmasterresources@gmail.com. Or you can follow through on the website and have a real talk with them, right? It doesn't hurt anything to have a conversation. Doesn't mean you're committed or anything like that. But right now, everybody that I know that has signed up for Operfi has been absolutely delighted with their industry knowledge, their service, everything, right? Their resources, their calculators, everything, right? And they've got like the boot camp. So, if you're a new carrier coming in, I absolutely would suggest you sign up for their boot camp. If you're just starting out, or maybe you don't already have DAT, and you need the coupon code, we've got things like that down there. All this stuff is to either help you, further your success, provide discounts, all these things. Because, like I said, I never want to see anybody fail, right? So we try to offer these things to everybody. For those of you that follow the channel and are members of the group, again, I want you guys to know how much I appreciate you. I truly value your support. This is as much yours as it is mine. So again, I appreciate, everybody following, subscribing, joining, and everything. You guys are rock stars for sure. So with that, we're looking to a brighter future, right? With the freight market. So again, make sure your customers are aware of this. Educate your customers, especially if they're a smaller customer, right? Like I said, without that huge transportation department where they're maybe keeping track of or having that information automatically handed down, and maybe they're not, right? Even if they are, they do have a larger transportation department, they might not even be aware of what's going on in the market, or as soon. Maybe the information they're getting doesn't get handed down for another 2 weeks or something. So anytime we can be ahead of that curve, to build that relationship, by all means, forward that information on to them, right? We got to stay up to date on what's going on. It's more than just typing up rate confirmations and booking trucks, right? So with that, I hope you guys are having an awesome weekend. I know I am. And with that, I hope you guys also have an awesome week. And if you guys need anything, again, I keep my email monitored all week long, 7 days a week. Unless you guys email me at like 2 a.m. or something like that, then, you might have to wait till I get up in the morning and get a first cup of coffee in me, right? But other than that, I always try to respond to everybody as quickly as possible. And I do appreciate you guys' emails coming in. If you guys have anything that you would like to share, that you would like me to share with the group, with the channel, or anything like that, again, email me. Share that information, right? So that, like I said, have a great weekend. Have a great week. I love y'all. We'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye now.